Oh, the Shadow Pieces boss fight, everyone. Quite possibly my all-time favorite in all of Don't Starve Together here. It is essentially 9 separate battles in one, with a quote-unquote choose-your-own-adventure type of progression within it, which just makes it all around fun and unique, if you know what I mean. That said, even with it presenting 9 separate challenges potentially, we have practically mastered it over the years, and have even cheesed it aplenty, mostly with the help of hammed DST there. But here's a question, why stop there? What if there was yet another request for another cheese that I honestly thought was patched years ago, brought to our attentions today by Dat Fam? Well, ask it no more, folks, as we're here to bloody answer it. Folks, it's time to learn the true power of boats. Well, after we actually go through the process of setting up the cheese, that is. And first things first, we need to find the marble sculpture set piece. Somewhere in your world will be a layout of marble statues that looks like what we can see in the bottom left there, and it is here where we will be able to spawn the shadow pieces for the very first time. The only problem is that the marble statues are incomplete. Therefore, we also need to keep an eye out for 3 individual pieces of suspicious marble, and hopefully you'll know them when you see them. Now, will you get as lucky as I have with having most of what you will be needing close to one another? No. But you will know what to do once you see these now, yes? Yes, and that's choosing between moving the pieces to the set piece yourself through backbreaking means, utilizing even a halfway tamed beefalo to move these pieces across the map with speed, or even doing the exact same thing, but with a Walter and Wabi combination in play. Whatever the case, folks, it will be up to you to bring all 3 unique suspicious marble pieces together in order to complete these statues, which should all start to look very familiar to you at the end of the day. But now comes the moment of truth. Do you take the easy way out first, or decide to play fair before playing dirty? But the heck you want about Beard? Well, I mean that you literally have 2 choices, and one involves mining these statues come a full moon in order to spawn normal clockworks, as you can see, while the other will have you wait until a new moon to have you spawning the shadow pieces themselves. It is your choice, but at the end of the day, folks, all that matters are the knight, bishop, and rook sketches, all of which will drop no matter your decision. So my advice is this: play smarter, not harder. Because when you do finally obtain said sketches, that's when the real work begins. Craft yourself a potter's wheel, of course, and insert the sketches into it to unlock these special clockwork statues. Proceed to make one of each of the rook and bishop ones, while potentially shooting for the moon when it comes to the knight ones, as this is a case of the more the merrier for sure. And don't worry, the amount of knights we actually spawn is not really gonna matter in the slightest, as we will soon be insta-killing dozens upon dozens of them at once with zero worry. And all of this will all be made possible by the fact that we have always been able to spawn in insane amounts of shadow pieces ourselves through use of these clockwork statues. So please, make as bloody many as you want. Then, craft a boat and place it as close to the edge as you can to not only help you transport these knight statues to it, but also because the whole idea of a boat being close to the edge is going to be super pivotal for the cheese soon enough. Now, I would recommend about as flat of an edge as possible for this method too, in order to save yourself from future headache, so make note there. But up next would be for us to make sure to drop something, anything flammable, on said nautical circle, as it will be used to smolder the boat later. And my advice would be something with a decent burn timer, of course, like rope. We will then need something to ignite whatever we left behind, of course, so what better than a fire staff? The only issue here will likely be the fact that you will be needing a shadow manipulator to actually make one, but if you're going after the shadow pieces, you know what the bloody heck you're doing, so you should be fine. Or at least I hope so, as this is where the fun begins and I ain't holding your hand no more. Come a new moon, even player-built clockwork statues will shake and spawn shadow pieces as we have seen prior. So proceed to hammer the ones you've made to do so, and the fight is on. And why are you wanting knights on the boat and the bishop and rook on land, you might be asking? Well, because the latter 2 teleport and the former doesn't. That's why. Fight the fight as you would normally, taking out either of the two on land in any order you choose, and just simply progress until you have blown your eardrums out by turning all these Shadow Knights into level 3s, the most terrifying sight around. Now, while they might be stuck on the edge, their range is absolutely bonkers, so be mindful of that as you look to ignite your rope, boards, grass, twigs, you name it at the end of the day. Do so though, and just wait for the boat to begin to smolder, because the hard part is over, folks. No, not kidding. After we kill the bishop and rook, all one needs to do is get the knights close to the boat, light the flammable item, sit back and watch it burn, wait for the boat to sink, and you will have done it. You will have killed potentially hundreds upon hundreds of the most terrifying mobs in this game instantly by destroying a nautical circle. And I couldn't be happier. And chances are you're gonna be right there with me, as let us just do the math here real quick. If all level 3 shadow pieces drop 4 to 6 nightmare fuel each, 1 dark sword each, 1 knight armor each, and 1 shadow atrium each, that's a lot of friggin' loot at the end of the day. I know I said we were doing math and that wasn't actually numbers per se, but hey, I don't know how many knights you're using. But I used barely 25 or so, and this is what I got. So yeah, it's pretty insane. But there you have it, everyone. Yet another cheese method for my favorite boss fight around that is somehow even easier than the last one we talked about, and I'm not too sure how to feel about it. I think my heart was better knowing that I thought this one was patched for all these years. But hey, you do you. And nah, I kid. I love me some cheese. So thank you very much to Dat Fam for actually reviving this method for us, and me specifically, as I hope with me showing it here today will lead to folk out there getting to use and appreciate it for themselves soon. Still, do me a favor, everyone, and complete this fight legit at least once, yes? Yes. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. So long, the shadows of all shadows. And I will see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.